Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So if you are here for the first time, I welcome you, and if you are a returning viewer, I welcome you too as well. So before I start off with this, first of all, I welcome all of you, and then the second one is the main thing is, if you like my content, please don't forget to share this with your friends and family, and as well as please do subscribe. I'll be very happy, so that actually helps me to grow my channel, and as well as you get notified whenever I create an event. So this is what is there are so many paintings are there, including acrylic ones as well, but because the main thing is October, also known as Inktober, so ink and wash, so that is the main thing that I have kept for this month. So I hope you.
Joining you today.
Yes, that's my daughter.
I'll be coming at random times of the painting, rating, and also giving you tips on how to paint.
Yes, so I have water here. I think I'm going to use only one brush for this size. I think it should be more than enough. And this is my palette. All of them are artist paints, artist watercolor paints. Some of them are Vincent Eaton and some of them are Camel. In India, yeah, even Daler Rowney is also available. All of them are available, but this is what I've been using for quite some time now. So this is the drawing, Lotus temple in Delhi, in India. So if you're watching from some other country, so at least you know that what I'm actually trying to paint here. So I've used first I used at least the minimum sketch with mechanical pencil, plus then I used waterproof pen. So the thing is that actually it took just for this drawing, it took more than an hour. Again, it more than an hour. So last week we did this. This is from Bangalore, Lal Bagh Glass House. So this is what we did last session. So if you remember, so that's what we did. And before that, we had one more. You can watch all these videos are there. This is another beautiful one, I think. So I hope you will learn a lot from this as well. But for this one, I have spent time in that live video itself. I've spent time drawing, so I've explained everything as well. But let me explain here for this as well. So perspective wise, what are the main things? One thing is the symmetry, and then the perspective wise until here it's all flat, but look at the path here. So if I look at this, the point is somewhere here, so I've kept in mind that point is somewhere, one point vanishing point, just one point vanishing point. Rest of them are actually symmetrical but organic shapes. So I've made sure that the lines are actually at one height, and then that's the based on that I've drawn the entire lotus temple. We'll try to get as close as the gist, in the sense whatever that photo represents. This photo actually you can find it on Pinterest or even Google search. It's very easy. So that's one more thing. And the next thing is the photo itself. Let me just uh, the banner which thumbnail which I have put is actually the photo, but let me just pull up that photo for myself. Let me just give me a second, because I need to have that as my reference. So that's your reference, what you have in that. Once this is done, this will be your reference as well. So or otherwise it's very easy, you can, like I said, you can find it out. uh, just a minute. Let me just take that. Where is that?
I wouldn't say that this drawing of Lotus Mahal is easy.
No,
this Lotus temple is easy.
it took more than an hour to draw this.
So I think for the drawing it is quite advanced.
So when I drew this, as you can see, all the lines are with the black, and but the lines inside, this is with pencil. So just keep that in mind. That is not the pen, that is a pencil. Light thin lines are pencils, and then all thick, all of them are watercolor pen, waterproof pen. So okay, if you see this, actually this is all white. It doesn't have any other color, but we have to manipulate with a little bit of a lightish gray or bluish gray, little bit. That depends on actually the light source. So light source in this case, in this reference photo, it is somewhere on top at this angle. So some shadows are there, but we will try to see if light falls from this side. Anything which is folded from the other side actually should be under shade. So we'll just keep that in mind. And the other thing is, like I said, it's all white. I can just leave it as is because it's white, but based on the light and shaded part, we have to use some color to make sure that it shows some three-dimensional. So before we do anything, sky actually plays an important role here as well. Now if you see whatever color I'm going to put, or if I leave this according to this is competing with the white of the paper itself. If I want to make sure that this is actually going to be brighter, I need to paint this with blue or otherwise sunset or whatever it is. But I think I'm going to paint this blue so that this becomes brighter when we paint just the shaded part. I'm still going to use this yeah, let me use the same brush, but I have cerulean blue or ultramarine blue. I think this time let me use ultramarine blue. Just make sure that I'm going to wet this. I will wet instead of if I didn't wet, then I should have actually mixed the color here. So I am going to just make sure that it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, it's all pen and wash, so here just leave some space. My board is slanted at an angle of some 20-30 degrees, so that's enough. I'm not going to. So and then I will just take straight ultramarine blue, and I'll see how dark I need for this, because watercolor dries lighter. So, and we have also wet the paper, so I have to keep in mind that I can actually put some clouds here, but our intention is main subject is not the sky here. So I can, that automatically when it runs down, it will show some color. I'm going to leave some more here and there, but I will try to cover the edge with blue, and as it comes horizon, so I'm going to leave it as is. I think should be okay. Let's see, don't want anything to, and let's do the same thing here. Okay, my daughter says it, my board is actually slanted at 10 degrees. Let me just check. She is actually using this protractor. I will also check this. I don't know whatever she is checking.
It is not correct. I should put this like here.
Yeah, around some 10-15 degrees. Okay, so now you know. She is doing all this type of experiments. Yes. Okay, so let
You
me
can't be
just
giving people false information.
usually 10, 15, 20, 30. No, maybe 20, 30 is more, I think, actually. Okay,
But then it would
let's
be
just,
like this.
it will be more, I think, correct?
Then it would be more like an easel than a board.
No, 20, 30 will not be that much. Here I am trying to make sure that that is blue entirely, and the drawing, the sketch is actually, if you really want the sketch will be available on my website. So you get notified whenever I post these ones, but you will have to either usually subscribe on my website, so that's where all these things whichever I post. YouTube is fine, but main thing is you will never get to know other things. So here just I'm going to leave it white, right? Okay, I'm not using any blower here, so let's just hope that it's going to dry lighter. Anyways, maybe I could have made this even darker. I think I'm okay with that, because see, remember, light is from that side, so I will keep in mind that this should not touch too close, right? Wherever light touches, here is all, this edge doesn't have to be hard, this edge doesn't have to be hard. Okay, I hope that's okay. So now what we'll do is, like I said, light and shaded part. I have Payne's gray. Payne's gray is blue gray, or otherwise I have indigo. One of them. I don't know. Let's just say indigo. How is it? Let me just take indigo itself. I think. Yeah, some kind of gray. So more water, but as you can see, the way I'm actually mixing, that's more water and less. It's also some kind of gray, but very watery, because I want to show that shaded part, but doesn't mean that actually I want to make it more darker. So I think it should be enough, because I want to have same color everywhere, just so that I can make sure. What we'll do is we will try this somewhere here. I think should be okay. So that is just lighter part. Okay, so let's just decide from here wherever light touches. So I'll start from left to right instead of right to left. This one gets some light, so what I'm going to do, I will have to, there is something else is there here, but for that reason I'm going to use very thin, because otherwise I'll be hiding the lines which I've done. I don't want to do that, so just roughly do that. That will dry lighter, so you have to keep that in mind. Shaded part. So again, go to the next one. Somewhere it has to be darker because it's between, so we will manage that. I'll show you exactly how to do, but let's see, there, right, that part, and here is the darker part, but I'll show you where to do. Let that little bit dry, because otherwise it should not go on top of that. It's between. So light again touches here, so I am going to just, you can actually go one after the other, but the way the light source is, the direction, everything actually matters here. If you see here, this gets light and shadow of this is on top of this, so for that reason I have an option, either go with that or go with this. So what I'll do is we'll manage with darker shadows. So let this go. Light doesn't touch here. Observation is the key, so for drawing or any of this. And then on top of this, if you see on this side, so this will also be under shade, so I'm going to put that on as well. Anyhow, even though it is next to that, that's fine, because I have to manage a little bit darker here. It has to dry little bit at least, right? Okay, so that's done. And light here, this doesn't touch much again, so I have an option, so let's put that one as well. Light is from this side, right? So this is a big structure, not in the front, it's a little bit at the back, so this part usually don't get light according to that. So then I have to paint this, but I have to manage a little bit of values here. So let's just, this one has to be a little bit darker, or otherwise that side light. And this again, I'm going to put this little bit as that shadow of that, let it be there. And then here we'll manage with this. This is again the same thing, right? This side will not be there, this side actually, the little bit from the bottom is there, so but actually it's slanted wrong. So I'll wash my brush, and this side I'm actually going to just spread this along, because that one has to be dark to light, and this as well actually has to be same. But before that, let's work on wherever I don't get light at all. This one doesn't get anything. As you can see, values are different here. Now values are same, but I have to differentiate between what it, if it was with just only pencil, then I have to be very careful about the color mixing. So that's that. And then here intentionally I'm going to put this, because this part is the spot where I made a mistake, if you actually think about it. And then this is actually casting shadow on this one, so that shadow is actually, let me just make this a little bit darker. So I'm not going to use any other color. That is the one which I'm going to make it darker and get that. There. And where else? Casting shadow of this to this. This is supposed to be darker actually. Let me just try a little bit darker. Casting shadow a little bit darker. Casting shadow a little bit darker. What else is there? There is some casting shadow here on this, but I'm going to leave it as is. This actually casting shadow is there somewhere like that. Okay, so now on the other side, just so that I can differentiate these two edges, I'm going to get a little bit darker on this side. Later I would have not been able to show, but let me just take this out. I think it felt too dark. Yes, maybe that's better. Okay, now let's fix wherever we want it a little bit darker. I am going to take some more in that part itself. So if you see here, this part is darker. As it goes up, it's darker. So that's where I'll wash my brush, go back and smudge this. Right, do the same thing on the other side as well, because in between I need that. Is actually going to dry it lighter, so but value will be there anyway, so you will be able to see. This actually has to be darker, and then it gets lighter, because light reaches there on this side. So that's how it is. So that's where I'm going to leave it as is. Right, and anything actually here, that side light, it won't touch. I'm going to get that little bit darker. Right, that side you get the light. Where else is there? Okay, one more area where I need darker. Remember, if it is line and wash, concentrate on highlights, and not only drawing is the main, very important. After that, then your next thing is values. No matter whatever you use, whichever color you use, just make sure highlights, shadows, all of them are actually having some different values. So this one actually has to be darker. That's it. Right, what else? Here this side I can take a little bit of this. Right, and then smudge this, because I don't want that. And here little bit is there, so let me just go. I'm just, because that's our main subject, so I don't want that to be not seen properly. Okay, there is one thing that we forgot, so we will just work on that there. And here this side actually has to be darker, right? This side we forgot for the front one. Here, this part. So value has to be different from this to this. I'll wash my brush, so I'm just going to just use plain brush, and there we go. There it is. At least the value from this to this has to be different. That is the main intention. That edge, otherwise I won't be able to see that edge, right? So we have painted that darker. So there is between is there, that is there, and then what else? That one is there. Okay, so let's go back to this. I think I'm going to take burnt umber, mix it with this. That is the color. I will try to paint this inside. Now I need a little bit darker because burnt umber, same indigo. Make it a little bit darker because it's just inside, but you won't be able to see. So I have to make sure that there. Right, that is inside anyways. It will spread anyways. Those are the three ones, and then that is there, that's their lines are there. Okay, let's concentrate on the same color. I'm going to use, I'm coming from left to right or top to bottom, both of them. So same burnt umber. I need some kind of brownish color in that, and then let's get this not too dark again. This is the inside one. These trees and all we will do it later. I think I will add some raw sienna in this. I need that yellowish or yellow ochre or anything you can add. I'm going to add raw sienna to that. I need that yellowish type color there, and also remember that that's going to dry lighter. So I'm going to use this. This is inside part. If you are painting and you can actually turn your I'm not turning my paper here, it is stuck to the board and for the camera, so I should have used, now this is my most of the time favorite, this board. This is the board I use all the time for almost now many years. Okay, so here what we'll do is intentionally we'll take this and put that and make it darker that side, right? And we do the same thing here as well while it is wet. Just wet, right? Okay, so we have to make sure that it is just there. I am trying, maybe it should have been a little bit darker, but there, that's okay. We will not do that. Then the next thing is coming from top to bottom. These are all white, so I can actually leave them white itself. So let's work on this. Anyhow, we are coming from top to bottom. That is all glass, and for that all I'll do is I'll just take the same indigo or Payne's gray. Let's take Payne's gray, very dark bluish gray, and add some burnt sienna. Anything darker, I'm just trying to make sure that it is not black. That's it. You can take anything. So as you can see, that's the color I'm getting now, burnt sienna and Payne's gray. You can actually mix Prussian blue and even the black and red. So let's see how this works out. I think that should be good enough. maybe it is too much paint here, but I will just take this. Right. That is inside here. So, and it is far. The structure, when you look at it from top, is entirely different. Remember that this is the front view on one side. So from the top view, it is actually, most of it is actually like has corners of lotus. So it is not the same what you see as this. These front ones are actually, these front lines are actually like that. So if you get a chance, just have a look at it. Okay, I think that should be, that darkness is enough. I can actually put some lines there later, or otherwise I can put even a little bit darker. Let's just see, a little bit darker. Otherwise I won't be able to bring that contrast. This is the inside one, so be careful with the brush. Okay, that's good enough. I think yes, I wanted to put darker, so I put darker. Anything I can put later, but that's okay. Here I can increase a little bit of that, but leave it. Now I am not going to work on that too much. So now let's work on a little bit of red. I'll take the red here itself. As you can see, I'm just going to get that red there. Okay, here some spaces, windows, all of them are there, but I'm just going to get that suggestion. That is the white, and 1, 2, 3, and then somewhere here, there also is there, but we will see when I get to that. We'll see. Okay, and do the same thing here as well. It doesn't have to be, as far as I can see, it is not exactly the same, so I can actually go with anything here. Okay, so next let's go to that part and small one, and here, right, and then one more here. Okay, so that's fine. That is there, the down part. So wherever red is there, I'm going to put some red anyways, maybe lighter, darker. Here some red is there, here something is there, there's some window there, and it goes all the way here. Here is all red, so I have to manage how I'm going to put that color. So let's just see. Okay, so some white I'm going to leave there, and I'll still do the same thing here as well. Right, okay, so here some white, so that is that white again. I'm going to leave that. That's a green, and some white is there, so that. Let's just take a little bit watery color here. Remember, it's line and wash.
How's it going?
My
Lotus temple is looking very good.
That's more than enough.
You mentioned that while it's wet, you need to smudge all this.
Yeah, they have seen already. They have seen. Then the next thing is, let's go with a little bit darker, but it's dark again. Like I said, I'm going to go with Payne's gray, and this time with Payne's gray I'm going to mix, I don't know, maybe just take Viridian hue and darker. I don't know, maybe that is wrong, but I will take some light red just it becomes very dark brown anyways. So but I need darker color, more Payne's gray. So let's just see how this works. Dark color, I need dark color anyway. So the dark color is for this, that window which I was talking about. Just fill up a little bit. That is the gap, that's the gap, that is the gap, and here this side goes that side. I'm going to leave it as is. So all according to what I see, but you have to keep in mind that this is all actually simplified. Remember, this is simplified. So that dark line will be there, that dark line is there, and here that dark line is there, and that dark line is there. Apart from that, I'm not going to put anything. That line, just that line, which is like, okay, so that's it. Here I might put one line here, and apart from that, that side is all green. So there is one thing, there is a little bit red, more red is here. So let's go back with that red is there, that is there, then here red. So where did I see red here again? I totally forgot. I think somewhere here red, some red here, some red here, I think. Okay, that's fine. I need to go back to my dark again. Dark here, I totally forgot. There greenery is there. Remember, main thing is what I'm trying to do here is simplify, observation and simplify, very important. And that's what I've kept on doing here. So what else is there? Anything else in terms of dark? Okay, here on dark, I totally forgot about that. I think they are the doors here. So somewhere if you leave white is better actually, that way you will be able to see what is going on there. Let's just take a little bit of red here. I'm going to put okay. Next, what we do is, what else? Did we miss anything? No. Okay, let's come stop. Again, what we'll do is, here I'll just take burnt umber, straight burnt umber. I can take that, but I'm going to use this actually. That is white, that's green, that is that. Okay, that is a path.
Don't get confused there. If you have one confusion, that's it.
This is just light path. It doesn't have to be too red.
And one more thing, do exact mathematical calculation so that it's the center one. One is wrong, that's it.
All lighter parts, so they should be able to manipulate that. That white, I don't want to lose that white. Be careful with that. This is just very light, so that's enough, should be enough. So that bright light which is falling on that, so that's very important. We don't want to lose the entire thing. So on top of that, remember the color what we did here, indigo. I'm going to take some indigo, light is from there. So this part, the white part, whatever we have left, will be under some shade. So I am going to put line and leave little bit of line on top, just to reduce that brightness. Remember, otherwise that white is actually going to grab the entire attention. We don't want that, is because of the light source. Anyways, this is under like that, so white line is there anyways on top. So then see, at least that particular blue and then this contrast is there with that, with the light and shadow. This is casting shadow, that's casting shadow. Maybe this part should have been a little bit darker, but I think we will see how that goes, because I need to make sure that it's darker. And here one more. Okay, while we are at it, take the dark one. Some lines are here, but I don't know how much of that we'll be able to see, but anyways I'm going to draw those lines here, just a suggestion. So I'm going to do the same thing for this one as well. Right there. But apart from that, this is a thick line like a frame, and that is a thick line, that is a thick line. Right inside, it's far too far, so we will not be able to see much, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, so should be enough. Next we'll start from top. I have permanent yellow, I'm going to put that goes behind and little bit in there, and do the same thing on left hand side, both at the same time. Left, right, left. Space is not that big, so I can actually work together with that. And then let's go with just the sap green. Just you can leave some whites as well in between, leave that, but here I am going to make it a little bit darker at the bottom so that I can play with this is viridian hue, which is actually going to be a little bit dark here and there, right? Should be more than enough. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side while it is wet, so we have to work a little bit faster here. If not, work with one side first. Okay, then viridian hue. If not viridian hue, what you can do is sap green and Prussian blue. Mix both of them and you should get a darker green. Here I'm going around this particular tree because that one actually gets light, which is in the front, so which is not exactly, so I think I'm good with that. I will just leave it as is, so that's fine. Here I feel that, right? Okay, so next is okay, let's just start working on the rest of the things here. I will don't need to mix actually, let's just take yellow part, go here, yellow part, go here, sap green, just mix, that is where, see, just like that, pull it across. Bright light, and doesn't have to just like that, it's enough. That part is done, we will not do much of dilly-dally with that. So let's just make sure that it is looking like what it is supposed to look like. So then after that I have to give here a gap. So what we'll do is, there is some red here, so this red, I will put that red here a little bit and do the same thing on this side, but I'll just leave a little bit white on top, let it be a little bit darker red. right? That is just both sides, I think, the design. And there are many other things are there here actually on top. There are some green things here and green thing on top. I'm just going to put just like that, and then maybe near the door some green here. This is all how much you want to put. I'll not go too deep into that. Some other things are there, but I'll not do that. That's fine. Next is let's go with the yellow again. So like I said, this has to be highlight for me here. That's how the layers are here based on the light. So there you go, and then do the same thing, because that will come back with that again, the one in the middle. Take sap green and then go around this first. These are just small trees, I think. So now while it is wet, so you have to make sure that it's light to dark. That's the intention. So light to dark. Let's do the same thing on the other side as well. Okay, light to dark, right? Okay, so let's just mix that, and while this is all going on, what we'll do is I'm going to do something different here. Let's just paint this just the light green, and you just have to plan this accordingly, so exactly how and what you are going to paint next, because one after the other I have to see which one goes next based on the color mixing. You can actually go even just like that. So let's just do something here. Now what I'll do is I'll take some yellow, we'll put this yellow here. Let's do that, and anything else I have a plan, but that's what I'm going to follow here. I should have not touched any of this, but we will see here. If I just remove some of this, I should have, but that's okay, I'll manage with that itself. Let's see on the other side. If I paint that again and take some sap green and do the same thing for this as well. That's about it. I have just painted here, not giving much of attention to this foreground here. So again, let's go back to our top one here. This is supposed to be yellow and supposed to be yellow here too, and then sap green. I just wanted that the bottom one to dry here, so that I get dark to light, right? Okay, do the same thing on the other side too. Right, now the major thing is I'll just take just sap green itself and make some shapes out of this. Yeah. Just the plants, but light is from back, remember. So these are all under just like shade. So I can put a little bit of highlight on top. I am going to leave somewhere white maybe on top, right? Okay, and let's do the same thing for the others as well. So here is top part I will leave, and I will follow the same thing for others. So because they are one behind the other, I'm going to leave that whatever color we had as the highlight, right? Do the same thing for this one as well. Not the entire depiction of exact same thing, but apart from this lotus temple and its structure, everything whatever I have seen is I have simplified. That's what you can think of. This darker and here a little bit darker as well, right? Okay, let's take the other side as well. So light is from top, remember. I'm going to leave a little bit highlights for each one of them, and now if you see light is from that side, so I need to put some shadows. I'm going to take this same sap green and add some paint spray, just not too dark, not too light. So these are actually casting shadows on that side. So casting, this has to have shadows, so those shadows are the ones which are actually going to define the light source as well. So just keep that in mind. So there, that is there, and then let's just put that little bit longer, this, and here these ones will have, I'm going to use that exactly on top of that. So I could have used different color, but I think I'm going to use the same color. So now you can see that that is there, and then what else is there? I can see that the middle one actually has some structures here, so I am just going to put that straight. Perspective wise, comes closer, has to be wider. I could have drawn this with a pen, but I just left it for that. And then anything after that, if you really want as shadow to show, I'm going to take the dark. Light is from that side, remember. This I might not be able to see because perspective wise on that side, because I'm standing here, so I'll be able to see that little bit darker shadow, and I will also be able to see that darker shadow as well. And here it's dark, so I totally forgot about that. Let's do that little bit darker color. So this darker color actually goes all the way here, just so that there. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Okay, so what else? Okay, one more thing here. Let's just put little bit of yellow here for this, yellow for that, and just dark there. That should be enough iron nut. So what else? Now if I really see anything anywhere I want to make it darker, so let's go back with my burnt umber and little bit of Payne's gray, right? Let's do that particular part little bit darker and then go smudge this down, right? Again do the same thing for here. Actually I should have done in the center, but let's just see, right? Okay, on both sides again blend that again on this side. If I'm actually going to go a little bit darker, right, it is going to dry lighter anyway, so I'm going to just draw that, and that is darker. What else is left? I think I've done. I'm not going to put anything anymore, so that should be more than enough. I think I've done enough, but only thing is what I feel is this part which is not dark enough. Okay, I think this will be better. Okay, it's good. Anything I see darker, I can only see dark red. I can talk about only dark red here because that is the only dark red that if I take a little bit of that, that's the only dark red I can think of, right? Okay, I think that's good enough. So I hope you enjoyed the entire painting. So let's just see if anything else, if I have forgotten. So let's just see if this dark color here a little bit, and then what I just want to correct this little bit because you have to see just one part before I call it done. Viridian hue, not vermilion, viridian hue I can actually add. So light is from that side, remember that. So depending on that, if I really want, I can actually enhance this part here, right? Just some parts, might not be everywhere. So let's just take and let's do the same thing on this one as well. Okay, so on the other side again it is just based on, right? Okay, here I think that's more than enough. Now let's just, the last part is I'll just take out this, blend this little bit here on top, just the shadow of that. Maybe I need to increase this little bit shadow on that side, and this shadow is there anyways, right? So I hope you enjoyed. So that's what we did. Lotus small line and wash. I think I've tried my best. So that is the dark color. That's right. And then the color of this. If this is just thinking that this is white, then if I had left everything, and then I will not be able to show shadow side and
overlapping.
shaded part. But actually I can see here the contrast. From what I see here, I can actually increase a little bit of contrast here too. And this side also is, there is more, but I can keep going like that, but I think we should stop it. I think that should be good enough. Okay, so we'll call this done, and then let's just see. I'm going to take this out anyways. It's not much, but it's okay. Slowly.
How it looks after removing all that.
So ultramarine blue, we didn't, this time we didn't use cerulean, so
You can't use cerulean blue all the time.
no, you can just keep changing, but they could have even made it even bluer and then got it right. So that's that one, and then this is for YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed, and then if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, and also subscribe on my channel as well, so you get notified whenever I release I put an event or even publish a video. Thank you. Thanks again. Bye bye.
Bye bye.